Hi, everybody. I'm sorry about the advertisements on here. It's not something I have control over. This is on the New York Post, and it is from recently. It's from last year. Let's read it, though. Is Hooters closing because millennials? No, you know what? Let me do this in a fucking New York accent because that's funnier. Is Hooters closing because millennials aren't into boobs? By Brooke Cato, December 29th, 2022. Okay, I don't have it in me to read this all, but in a fucking New York accent. But, let's just take a moment to recall the fact that this is a publication and or a website called New York Post. Okay, fuck that up. It's called New York Post. Okay? And that name carries a lot of weight. That name carries a lot of reputation. And that name is something serious. New York. You put New York in your title, you get a fucking 4-letter word to put with it, Post. You guard that shit with your life. Do you understand me? Yet here I am reading about, is Hooters closing because millennials aren't into boobs? I digress. A viral tweet drummed up the rumor mill this week after falsely claiming the shuttering of select Hooters locations was due to millennials not being into boobs anymore. Multiple users perpetuated the hot gossip, including viral news account Daily Loud, which wrote, Hooters is shutting down and rebranding after new study shows that millennials aren't that into boobs. As of Thursday, the tweet had more than 33 million, blah, 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 I don't care about that. Okay, the new study in question from a 2017 Complex article which cited data from Pornhub. Okay, so let's go back to the date. What was it? 29th? Yeah, okay, so 29th December 2022, a supposedly legitimate article, a supposedly legitimate journalistic institution called the New York Post cited Pornhub in a serious manner in one of their articles. The only time I want to hear a legitimate publication citing Pornhub is when it's talking about how we need to end pornography, the dangers of pornography, and how pornography facilitates human trafficking. Anyway. Okay, here we go. The adult video site found. Okay, so boobs is a childish word. That's something that a third grader uses. Okay? Grown human beings ought to say breasts. When I was in college, the whole Save the Boobies campaign came around. My college campus came around, a lot of college campuses, and they handed out wristbands that said Save the Boobies on them. And that shit is demeaning because you should save the women and not the boobies. And how fucking old are you? 4? A fucking 4-year-old says boobies. But the reason people are speaking that way is because they're immature and they're stupid and they don't want to humanize women. Anyway. Okay. Oh, and that's what I was going to say about the adult video site. So this is human traffic. I actually honestly call pornography rape tapes for the most part, because if you have to pay someone to do something, that means they don't want to do it. And if you have to pay a woman massive amounts of money to get fucked on camera, then guess what? She doesn't want to do it. And if you're paying someone, that means it's also coerced. Okay? So that's why I call pornography rape tapes. But the New York Post is calling it the adult video site found at the time of the study that millennial users were 19% less likely to search for breasts compared to other age groups. Okay. I will tell you why that is. That's because just close your eyes. Close your eyes. Roll back your mental film. Roll it back hard and fast right now. Roll it back to 80s, 70s, 60s, 50s, okay? Let's do 70s, 80s, because that's somewhat familiar to me, even though I wasn't around for either of those decades. We're rolled back, okay? People did not have access to pornography in the 70s the way that they have access to pornography today. Right now. Okay? And if you think back to even like, so you could get a dirty magazine in the 70s. You could get a dirty magazine in the 60s. You could get a dirty magazine in the 50s. Right? I haven't really looked at any of them. I've actually seen Playboy magazines from the 70s. But anyway, actually the 80s. But anyway, those dirty magazines were not as fucking serious as rape tapes are now. Okay? They were not. At all. They were, you would see a bare breast. You would see a visible vagina. Okay? You wouldn't see all the crazy shit that I'm not even going to get into that's on pornography. But also think about it, okay? Just imagine being a young boy, because most young boys will grow up to be straight men. Think about being a young boy in the 70s, in the 60s, in the 70s, in the 80s. Okay, 60s, 70s, let's go there. So, you've likely only ever seen your mom naked or your sister naked. You cannot, there's no pornography. There's not even anything that suggestive on television. I don't know if you guys know this, but the first interracial kiss on broadcast on American television was on Star Trek. And that happened in, I want to say the 60s. Fuck, that's something I should know. But it was with Uhura and Spock on Star Trek, okay? That was a groundbreaking moment, okay? No one had ever done that before. There had not been an interracial kiss on television before, okay? So that is what I'm trying to reel you back to, okay? So it was really exciting to see a naked woman who you weren't related to. It was really exciting to see naked breasts, okay? You know what? It still is, and that's why more women should go topless. I do. Okay? I do. I legitimately do. I fucking go topless. There's a park here I really like. It's on a river, and there's a beach, and I go there topless in the summer when it's hot out. Because guess what? It's legal in Oregon, baby. Yeah, people stare at me, but what the fuck do I expect from them? Why wouldn't they stare at me? That's unusual. You don't see bare breasts often in the United States. You really don't. Okay? Not in public, not in a non-sexual way. The only way you're fucking seeing that shit is on rape tapes, okay? I'm going on a fucking tangent here. I'm sorry. There's more to this article, but I'm trying to put you in a mindset where I can try to illustrate to you why breasts at one point were such a big deal. Were more of a big deal, okay? Because we've desensitized ourselves to the point that we're at where we're at with pornography. Okay, I really wasn't planning on getting into this, but now I'm into it, okay? A big reason I quit IG was I saw a guy that I knew talking about having been being raped on camera for pornography. Okay? I saw that guy on, I think it was Exodus Cry, and I was like, what the fuck? And I knew this guy after that had happened. He actually really annoyed me, but that's beside the point. I saw that guy and I was like, what the fuck? This is where we are. what I meant to say there was that you have to escalate with pornography. It's just like an illicit drug. You have to increase the amount you're doing. You have to increase the intensity in order to get high. Because if you're a fucking coke head, okay, I'll admit I've done coke, but a little bit is a lot, and this is bad. Okay, cocaine is really bad. You do not want to do cocaine. Cocaine fucked up my life a lot. Okay, and I barely did any. It still fucked me up. I was not a coke head at any point, but let me just say this. You can't, if you're an addict to something like cocaine, you know, when the first time you did it, you did one line, you got high, you know, but your body adjusts to illicit substances. Your body adjusts to any substance that you're dependent upon. And it gets to the point where it can handle smaller amounts better, so you have to keep doing larger and larger amounts. I wish porn could kill you. I think it can. I mean, it can if you're participating in it, obviously. But I was saying, like, I wish you could get like a porn overdose and die. I was gonna say that's why so many people die when they relapse. Because they've been sober for sometimes years, and then they're like, okay, I'm just going to get high one more time, and they put out an amount that they could handle when they were at the peak of their fucking drug use. They put out that amount, and they take it, and they die. Because it's too much of a shock for their body to handle that amount, and they don't realize that, and then they're dead. Okay? So I'm just saying, we have advanced, unfortunately, society has advanced, unfortunately, in its consumption of pornography. And that has manifested in, one, breasts not even being that exciting, okay? Breasts are like boring to most people, to most straight males, right? It's resulted in people being horrible, because I think that everyone can agree that straight men suck because pornography ruined them. Okay? And I don't fucking care about Hooters, honestly. I don't care about Hooters restaurants. I think they're stupid. I think they need to go away. But, like, I'm just trying to shed light on larger issues in context of this fucking article on the New York Post about Hooters. Okay? Let's get back to the article. I forgot what was even being said. Got on that major fucking rant about porn. Millennial users were 19% less likely to search for breasts compared to other age groups. It's because we're so fucked on porn. Online users claim millennial rejection of the iconic chain was due to their disinterest in breasts and not the chicken kind. Wow, that was comparing women to chicken breasts. Rude. Complex took the sexy stats and ran with them, attributing Hooters' updated aesthetics and its 2012 spin-off restaurant Hoots to a desperate grab for millennial patronage. The article also assumed the shuttering of select locations between 2012 and 2016 was due to the changing tastes of a younger audience. No, it was due to the pornography addiction. The raunchy restaurant chain. This is really flowery writing. You guys are annoying me. The raunchy restaurant chain, whose 80s-inspired orange sports shorts and cleavage-bearing teeth. So, do you not... If anyone at Hooters is reading this, do you not read that shit? And the person who wrote this, are you not reading that shit? Whose 1980s-inspired orange sports shorts and cleavage-bearing tees are its breast-kept secret to success. Why the fuck is some modern moid gonna be like, hey, I want to see women in 1980s-inspired sexy outfits in 2023? what was sexy in the 80s is not what's sexy now, because things have changed. Stephen Brown, a spokesperson for the company, told the Associated Press that the far-fetched claims have no validity and promised the iconic breasturaunts and its busty servers is here to stay. One of the chain's Twitter accounts even addressed the complex article Wednesday, tweeting, "This is the fakest news that ever news," along with an eye roll emoji. Concerned fans of this funky eatery, okay, here we are again, fucking flowery as fuck, expressed their relief after being reassured Hooters would remain open. "Thank God," replied one user. So dumb. "Boobs are universal," another agreed, to which the Hootie account responded, "That's beautiful. Okay, well, you're still using boobs. Millennials may not like boobs, but I sure do," someone else wrote. Straight from the source, Hooters girl Sloane Miovitz posted a gram on her skin-tight uniform with the caption, "New study shows that millennials are 100%. Okay, I don't understand the posted a gram. But as Hooters comes up on its 40th anniversary in the new year, more locations have been closing, thank God. Well, it may have nothing to do with general preferences. The chain has shrunk from its peak of 430 U.S. locations to a measly 312. 312 is so high. What the fuck? Bruh, that's so high. It's a measly 312. I didn't fucking think there were 312 Hooters around here. There was a Hooters kind of not really near me. There's a, like, honest to God, I am not exaggerating about this. Hooters is, if you drive from Portland to Washington, it's not far. Hooters is the first thing on the other side of the bridge. It was for a long time. I think they changed it to Hoots, but that is literally the first fucking thing you see. The first business establishment you see, you set eyes on in the state of Washington. Way to go. According to Eat This, Not That, the coronavirus pandemic had an adverse impact on Hooters, which was the cherry on top of an already mountainous stack of obstacles the company faced, in addition to an outdated menu. Despite wings and beer being the staple of American sports watchers, the chain's multiple failed ventures and changing ownership possibly damaged its prospects of success. Okay, well, given the fact that it's a chain, all of that food is frozen and then unfrozen by the time it's served. It's frozen when it's delivered and it's unfrozen by the time it's served. So it's not like it was going to fucking be quality food anyway. Unfortunately, the titillating customer experience may not be enough to keep up the chain's booming success of decades past, especially not when its servers are reportedly unhappy. A 2015 University of Tennessee found that sexual objectification of waitresses at restaurants like Hooters resulted in body shame and subsequent depression. All thanks to the revealing ensembles. Yeah, no shit, Sherlock. Do you know what kind of bullshit you have to do to remove that much hair from your body? Servers have even taken to TikTok to expose creepy patrons and slam the ultra-strict dress code. Outfits that have come under fire for catering to the male gaze. No shit. Hooters' notorious uniform, which quickly became its claim to fame due to the eye candy donning the entire... I don't care about this. They're just calling women's breasts boobs. Oh, okay. Is this the end of it? Yeah, that's the end of it. Sorry. What the fuck was that? I'm not scrolling back. See the advertisements New York Post has to rely on in order to stay up. It's like they're not a quality writing establishment anymore. That was not hard to tell in the article. Okay. Guests are enjoying this week's televised sports events at our restaurants across the country and around the world in record numbers, accompanied by a craveable menu. Okay, so our concept is here to stay. So this was an article on the New York Post. I guess this was always kind of a glad rag. Isn't that what they call it? This is a tabloid. This is a tabloid. Look, we need to stop this kind of horse shit, okay? If you want to get involved, go to @WomenOverWings on Instagram. Sorry, I meant if you're in Dallas and you want to get involved, or you're in the Dallas surrounding area, or you're anywhere you can drive to Dallas. There's a protest being organized against Hooters. Okay? So get your booty over there if you can make it. All right? Sorry, I have such a hard time closing this. Shit.